Hi everyone, welcome to Sports Kabli. It's live with Adi and Rishi and boys. Over at BGT 3-1, nice. We had hope even going into that Sydney test, but things don't quite work out when there's no Jasprit Bumrah there. Um, how would you sum up that last test, bro, Rishi? Because when I look at it, I am again looking at the batters. Although it was a very difficult wicket to bat on, I think it was moving quite a bit. I'm still looking at the Virat Kohli's. No, I don't think he did enough. Again, plays at a couple outside off, and I know Scott Boland has that knack of making it look like it's going to come in, but he still plays fairly away from his body. Made some technical changes. Is like he became a lot more side on. You could see that in the last couple of tests, but yeah, still not good enough from him. I still look at some of those senior players. I think Mohammad Siraj on that final day, that first bro, that first 30 minutes where it's so important, absolutely sprays it around. And so does Prasidh Krishna from the other end. Bro, like to me, what I've learned is this team is way too reliant on Bumrah. What have you learned, bro, like from that Sydney test?
I mean, I completely agree with you in the sense that uh, we are very reliant on Bumrah, and the fact that the other bowlers, are not having the maturity to even, like, they don't even have to think too much, like, because what the pitch was doing, everyone knew. Like even the first innings and the second innings, the Australians didn't do anything out of the world because that pitch had a lot of spice in itself. Like, it was bouncing, it was moving, like it was giving everything. So Scott Boland, Pat Cummins, and even Stark, the only thing they did was not give away too many loose balls. They just kept their discipline, and the pitch did the rest. Like, they did their half. In fact, they didn't even have to do the half. It was almost like 46. They had like a 40-60 relationship with the pitch,
Yeah, yeah.
and I felt, dude, like, the second innings, of course, like, we did end up getting wickets. Sure, we got a handful of wickets, but then again, that just papered over some of the cracks. Like we were even Prasidh Krishna and Mohammad Siraj. Like Mohammad Siraj, I've spoken about him ample amount of times, and I felt Prasidh Krishna, at least he was getting a little bit of bounce. So I
Yeah.
felt, okay, if we can do that a little bit more, okay, fine. You want to go after the batsman, you do that, but just don't let any freebies up. But both of them from both the ends are just letting, they're literally just spraying it everywhere. It was like a paintball match. They're like
True.
putting it, one is going here, one is going here, one is going here, one is going here. There's no, like, consistency anywhere. And I've realized we can't rely on our like our existing crop of pace bowlers for that. We need the Shamis, we need the Bumrahs, and it is concerning. It is very
Bro,
concerning.
what was more concerning for me is from a seam bowling point of view, bro, Siraj probably had his best bowling spell in the first innings of that test. He was
Mm.
amazing. Like I think Siraj was almost unplayable. He was shaping it away. He was getting the ball to move. He was pitching it up. Everything was going for him. He was doing everything right. Like that, he had an amazing little patch of play where I think he got Labuschagne
But
and then he
Travis
get
head out.
Travis Head within like the space of 4 5 deliveries. Amazing stuff. Sorry, I think he gets Conscious first, right? He gets Conscious first, and then he gets
Yeah, he
Travis Head
gets
in that
conscious and
that
then Travis head.
that spell, which was
Each of the
amazing.
ball, by the way, that ball to Travis head was a beautiful ball.
Amazing. Bro, Siraj was brilliant in that innings. And you completely flip it. And now the pressure is on him. He has to lead the attack. See, one thing I'll never like doubt these guys is their unwilling attitude. They bowled 10 overs each. Both of them, like kudos to them for doing that non-stop. They didn't stop. They didn't have any bowlers between them bowl at all. Um, so that way, I think like you have to give them props. But the thing is, if you made the most of that first 30 minutes, which is where you're really expected to do well, right? Like, fine, okay, like even if you don't give me 10 overs each, just give me 5 good overs at the top, create pressure, and then the game is open. But we didn't get that from Siraj or Prasidh Krishna. I think Siraj was still the better of the two, but yeah, we didn't get it from either of them, and in the end,
Bro,
it costed us.
like this one game, like, of course, like, he, to be honest, like, he should have played earlier. I felt even the warm-up games, Mukesh Kumar did really well. I felt this one game, Mukesh Kumar would have mirrored what Boland did. Like you just hit
100%.
that line and length, nothing spectacular, no like nothing sparky, nothing like fiery. Just hit the line and length. The pitch itself would do. I felt like we missed a trick, but then when it comes to pace attack, we've missed our trick on so many occasions. Like picking Harshit Rana to begin with, and then going to an extra spinner on tracks which didn't need an extra spinner, and picking the wrong pacer for the wrong test, like continuously. I feel we've constantly missed our
Bro,
No,
mark.
so
I
wait, so
consistently said it. I think even before we started, I said Mukesh Kumar should be India's third seamer because he's the only one who, if not Akashdeep, I think Akashdeep is a good choice. I think he would have done very well in this test because of the way the pitch played. Um, but if not Akashdeep, I think Mukesh Kumar is the closest you'll get to a test bowler. Like, I don't know who else. Yeah, Adi, you were saying.
but as I was saying, you guys were pointing it out. It comes from the management. I seriously think it's a management issue because there is no game plan, game strategy, bro. Like that's the entire problem. I'll tell you one thing. For example, for whatever Bumrah does, there are two bowlers behind him, and we keep saying they don't know how to support him. But if we actually look at it, what does Bumrah do? He, as you said, he just balls a particular line and length consistently well. And even if it's not working out, he just continues to ball the same line and length, and that's what he's done this entire series. So there's already a game model for all the pacers for India to use. The example of Bumrah is there. Like it's not only a technical thing; it is also a mindset thing. It is same as batting. These guys have no patience in bowling. Also, like Siraj, even Prasid. I think with Prasid Krishna, he doesn't play much test matches. He has not played much, so I can't tell much about him. Even Akashdeep, to an extent, he was bowling the same line and then to an extent also, like at least consistently. Like the point is, it comes from the bowling stuff. You have someone like Morne Markle who's had a tremendous test career. What is he supplementing? Guys like Siraj, Prasid Krishna when they're coming in. It's simple. You give them a strategy. Say, listen, Siraj, listen, Prasid Krishna, whoever it is, Harshit Rana, whoever it is, like ball is line and length, every ball, no matter what. The point is, no one's there to guide them. You look at
Yeah,
Australia, you guys are saying the
Adi, I
same
think
thing
you
with
just
bowling.
lost. You
Can you
were
hear
like,
me? Hello?
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but that is what it is, bro. You have to hit the areas. Like, it's not that,
But
it's
now
like a
it is
complicated thing in
always,
Test cricket.
I think, is there is no game plan. There is no strategy in terms of bowling and batting. Like, what is the point of having a captain and a coach when you're letting the batsmen do whatever they want, bowlers do whatever they want? Like, what is the game's strategy? Like, tell me, honestly, I'll ask you, 5 tests. There were 5 tests. India, what, went to Australia? Bro, it was in November. That's when they went to Australia. They've been there close to like 60 days, if I'm not wrong, in Australia. They played 5 test matches. So, for example, they're playing at least 60 days they're there. Out of that, only 25 days has been gone for playing a test match. They've had at least 25 to 30 days to sit and prepare for every test match, like in between, whatever it is. Tell me, in these 5 test matches, how have they adapted from the first test to the last test, where they won the first test? Secondly, what is the game plan of India been from first test to the last test? Like, have you guys seen any game plan from India? Like, at least one aspect, like batting,
Oh, dude,
fielding.
I just have to
Hmm.
add, like you're talking about preparation, and I just wanted to say this. I think it kind of kind of falls in quite nicely. Harsha Bhogle said he spoke to Jasprit Bumrah, and Bumrah told him that I'm not even bowling my quickest here because the pitches are doing a lot here. It feels like that it's. He says
No,
that
no,
he
it's
needs.
you exactly like for example,
Yeah.
like you think about the Sydney pitch, everyone's saying you need 2 spinners. It always turns in second day, third day. You need to play 2 spinners. Everything. That's what it's been the entire time. You go to toss time, it's a complete green top. It was not at what Jadeja bowled 4 overs. Washington Sundar what ball? I don't even think he balled. Like in the second innings also, in the first innings also barely anything. Point is like you took in 2 spinners, you're not using both of them anyways. What is the point of where is the adapting? Where is the point of okay, can we change based on how the pitches are, how the conditions is, and like Rohit Sharma, Bumrah, Gautam Gambhir, whoever was the captain that day, they had so much time to assess the pitch, see how it works, and then they could have made the right changes. But they still like that's the thing. Like since day one, I don't think I've seen any game plan in India's cricketing style or playing model. Like not even in the Australian pitches. You go back to New Zealand. Did you guys see any game plan? Like what was the game plan then? Coming to Australia, like technically we all know it's going to be bouncy, pacey. what has changed, like, from the first test to the last test, where again India won the first test? And tell me, have you guys actually seen a game plan from the captain, maybe from the coaches, whatever it is? Have you ever seen any game plan where India went into it, this test match saying this is how we're going to play, this style we're going to play? Like, I don't
I'll
think so.
I'll tell you from a very basic viewpoint, in the sense that there's a stark contrast not in how to approach each batsman or how to approach the game. From an Australian perspective, when a bowler bowled from one end, from the other end, nobody came in and did a loose job such that they gave an outlet per se. So for like whenever Boland bowled, Nathan Lyon kept it tight. Whenever Boland bowled, Cummins came in from the other end and kept it tight. Whenever Hazelwood bowled, it was Stark from the other end who was bouncing it up. So there was always a reciprocation from one end. For India, the primary thing is it is this like
Rishi,
game
but the
plan.
point is,
Complete.
my
Let me
point I'm
complete.
making is,
So like once again. So what I was trying to say is, like, okay, if you want to approach someone, if you want to if you want to lock in the runs, you can. There's only so much you can say. The closest I saw to a complimentary bowling to Bumrah was Akashdeep. As far as Akashdeep bowled, I didn't see him, in the sense that I didn't see him bowl one ball good, like just on top of off stump or just in the fifth stump line, and the next ball down the leg or far like outside off stump. I saw him bowl with relative, again, not with absolute, with relative discipline. But the minute again Akashdeep went, the only difference is people like Prasidh Krishna, people like Mohammad Siraj, they have really good balls in them, but they just don't have the discipline to maintain that for 2-3 overs. They don't even have the discipline to maintain 6 balls in the same line and length. That is not something about game management or something about strategy. That is about
oh, it is
basic
totally
discipline.
about coaching. It is a coaching issue. Like, for example, I'll tell you again. No,
If
no,
you're
no.
not able to land,
Bro,
if a bowler is
is
not
it,
able to land 6 balls in the same area, how is it that
Rishi,
bro? Is that not a white ball issue? I
I'll tell
genuinely
you
put
one thing.
down
I
to a
feel
lot
like
of white balls cricket.
I'll tell you it's simple. It's a coaching issue because Bumrah can do the same thing with white ball and red ball. Hazelwood can do the
there's
same
only
thing.
one?
Bali, I think Bumrah.
Cummins
You
can do
could
the
leave
same thing.
him.
Like,
Leave
bro, the
Bumrah
point
aside.
is, I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you. Wait, I'll just tell you. Like, you go back. I'll tell you one thing. What Boland said. If you guys remember, if you saw the last test, he said, like, for example, I'll tell you how the game plan was. Like, I don't think Australians bowling is spectacular in terms of, like, okay, these guys are technically ahead of anyone. That's why they're getting us all out. It's a simple of, they analyze each batsman well. They have a game plan for each batsman. For example, you see what Scott Boland said about Virat Kohli. He said, see, with Virat Kohli, he can leave 100 balls, but he has that feel of, he always wants to feel the ball. He said he always, even if he's left 30 balls, he always wants to have a touch of the ball. He's always going to try and play a shot. And their game plan was with Virat, only going to ball third stump, fourth stump. Because even if he, as we saw, Virat in the last game, he played 60 balls, 69 balls. But the point is, he will always go for that one ball where he wants to. He's a player who wants to have a feel, and that's the problem. The point for them, well, they've well analyzed Kohli. They have a game plan for him. They're going to implement it during the game. My point is, has Indians ever done that? And when I say it's a coaching issue, it is that as a bowling unit, what is your game plan for each batsman? I don't think they had any game plan for
No.
any batsman. I'm honestly telling you,
So
even with Travis said,
now say Mane Morkel comes and he goes to Bumrah, he goes to Siraj, and now he comes and says, okay, for Smith, he wants to go down the leg. He feels like you have an option down the leg. He shuffles across. So I want you to bowl one ball on top of fifth stump, which is angling in, one ball which is short of good length, which is going down the leg, so that Smith will feel it. Now the difference is Bumrah will bowl 3 balls on top of off stump, which is angling in, 3 balls which is short of good length, which is going down the leg. The difference is Siraj, he'll come and give his heart out. I'm not questioning him. He is I think there's a stat where he has bowled 100 plus overs more than the second highest bowler in for India in 2024. Like his workload is excellent. But the thing is, Siraj, when given this piece of information, he is someone who will come and bowl the first one half volley wide outside off stump. The second one, he's going to bang in short.
see,
The
but
third
this is
one is
very
going to be a long
hypothetical.
reach. No, it
No,
is
but
not.
I'm
It is
sorry,
something
it is very hypothetical.
we've seen consistently, whether
But
be it in
but there's a
IPL,
point,
whether be it in white ball, whether
Rishi.
be it in red ball.
There's a difference between IPL versus Test cricket. But my point is, in Test cricket, you have the luxury to ball the same line and length every ball. The thing with T20, it is you have 4 overs, you have to have some change because if you're getting smacked every ball, you have to make any changes. But in
But
Test
Siraj
cricket,
doesn't is neither.
wait. No, my point is, bro, if I'm a coach, as a coach, you have a player who's struggling. What do you try to do? You try to fix that issue. The point is, there is no instructions being given to the players first of all. Like, and it's the same thing with batting. It's not only a bowling thing. That's what I'm coming to. If Siraj Prasad Krishna had a right strategy, say you only ball in this area, line and length, ball 6 balls. Like the point is they don't have that coaching plan, or it's not been given from the instruction from the coaches saying, ball this area every ball, no matter what. If you get smacked for 24 runs in this over, it's fine. Next over also be balling the same line and length. That's the thing. Like the strategy itself is not there. If, for example, you're telling, okay, you're do whatever you want as a bowler, it's fine. That's how it looks like. Like batsmen, they look like they play whatever they want. Even the bowlers, like there is no game plan for each. Thing is, I'm not saying you have to ball the same line and length for every batsman, but my point is, how do you have to analyze each batsman? They're all unique. In Australia, for example, Constas came in. He's a different player to Kavaja, Labuschagne Smith, a bit similar, but they're also very different. Like you have to have a certain game plan for everybody. And my point is, India, unfortunately, maybe it's the thing of like, okay, Bumrah will get everyone out. It's okay. Let's not have a game plan. Like, let's not concentrate more on that. But I'm for like 5,000%, I can see it clearly that they don't have a game plan how to tackle certain batsmen when you have to ball some kind of balls. Like, you can. I don't
No,
think
like
it is
I,
a
I,
thing.
I actually agree to a certain extent because Rishi, if you look at Steve Smith, right? Like there are phases in every game. If Smith plays 15 balls and he's comfortable shuffling across, he covers the line of off stump. He takes LBW out of the game because he's always going to get hit outside the off stump. Just the way he plays, he's very comfortable with you bowling straight because he'll flick you off the pads, right? Like so, there are always points in a game where I feel like it's almost impossible to get Smith out. Like you just can't do anything because of the way he bats, like because of the way he negates like all the dismissals possible. You can't get him caught behind because he'll bat outside off stump. He leaves well. You can't get him LBW because he's going to make sure that you hit him um, outside the off stump. So your only option is go full and at the stumps, and he's comfortable flicking you from there. He's confident that he'll be able to flick you off the pads. Now, one very interesting thing Sunil Gavaskar said, okay, about Steve Smith and how he plays and how India haven't figured out how to tackle it. Okay, in the last couple of innings, he gave his wicket away. The one to Prasidh Krishna, okay, you got one that really hit the seam and bounced. I mean, or it hit some crack and it moved up like crazy, and he got a whatever edge, and he was edging for his. He wanted his 10,000 run. That's why he went for it. Otherwise, he wouldn't have. The point he was trying to make is, why don't you try like something else? Like even with Bumrah, he was like, why don't you get Bumrah from around the wicket? He's going to get the ball to come inside, make him bowl an off stump line and try to get him LBW from there. Try something different. But that's true. I feel like to an extent, like the lack of plans are there. Like we don't have enough plans because when Smith, especially somebody like a Smith plays 20, 30 balls, I don't. It looks almost impossible that we're going to get him. And this is where I feel like we miss somebody like an Ashwin, who doesn't need somebody to tell him what to do. He will make sure that he figures it out himself and tries to like make things happen. He'll set a strong leg side field. He'll keep a leg slip in. He'll bowl to his pads, make him, try
Right, that's the
something
thing with
different.
Ashwin. But again, I'm pointing with Ashwin. He's going to plan something for each batsman. You know
No,
what I
that's
mean?
exactly what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. But
You don't have those players now. So you need help from
exactly.
the
So
top. Like
exactly, if you don't have the players, who's going to do that? It is the
no, I
guy
agree.
who's
And that's what I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like I think you need help from the top, especially when you have, like you said, Siraj. Siraj for the longest time has never been the most calm-headed guy. It's not like Siraj meticulously is somebody who plans. I don't know if he does, but like he doesn't come off as somebody who meticulously plans everything. He's an all-heart bowler. We know it. Like he gives it his 100%. He comes out. He does his 100%. Nobody questions his effort. But when it comes to these subtle things, I think players like Siraj will do very well. I think if you get help from like people like Mone Mokul or some senior players around, some whoever can help. Of course, the coaching bowling coach is probably the best person to do it. Try something else, set different plans, and yeah, bro. I think it's fair enough to say that they do have to help out, especially and even Prasidh Krishna, bro. He's a young bowler. He hasn't played enough games for it. I think it was his third test or second test or something like that. Played a handful for Karnataka, so you have to like give these guys some support because Prasidh Krishna in his first spell, he looked like he was under the pump, bro. Like in his first spell of this test, and it was scary. Like it was, I was like, bro, this guy's going to go for a lot today. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Again, again, when we come down to it, it is also a selection issue because the guys we've taken this entire series from day one, actually think about it, we got guys who played well in the Ranji Trophy. Gambhir comes out and he says things like, we're not now, but I remember when Shreyas Iyer got dropped, his first words were, we need players who are playing Ranji Trophy consistently, who is performing well and consistently. They got an Abhimanyu Ishwaran, okay? Now look at the bowling side. They got an I would like, luckily Nitish Reddy is worked out well. But again, if you look at the reasoning behind what they got behind him, it was not that, okay, this guy's been a success in Ranji Trophy. You look at Harshad Rana, he hasn't played much test cricket this year. You look at Prasidh Krishna, not the greatest numbers. Like, my point is, you're getting in everyone who's not really performed well, in the domestic cricket, apart from IPL, for example. Secondly, when you look at the bowling combination also, India don't have a left arm seamer, which is kind of crazy when you have guys like Ashdeep Singh, even Yash Dayal in the setup right now. That's the thing. I don't know what is the idea of getting an Ashad Rana. You get him in, you don't play him enough, right? Secondly, you have guy. If you don't, Mohammad Shami is not there. Why didn't you try and you need a left arm seamer? I always think in Test cricket you need at least one left arm seamer. You have guys like Yash Dayal. You didn't try him in the India A game. Like there were two Test matches in India A. You didn't even put him in that scenario. See how he works out there. You're yet to integrate. You're a mute. You're a mute.
No, I was just saying that he bowled well in the Duleep Trophy.
Yeah, but
Ishwar.
he was not. That's my point. Like the idea of him being in the test team, I think he was there, no, in Bangladesh test series. If I'm not wrong, he had a chance or something. They didn't transition him. My point is, I'm not saying you have to play him. My point is, why didn't you take him to the India A squad, give him a chance there, see how it works out? They didn't at all do that. Like not even a bit.
Yeah, to be
Same thing.
fair, like he is one of those bowlers who can hit a line in length. Like at least I've seen it for RCB when he bowls with the new ball. He's got a fair bit of control on it, like which you don't see with a lot of the new ball bowlers.
Exactly. And even with Ashdeep Singh, bro, I see him playing county cricket right now in England. Like,
Yeah, he
why
does.
didn't they? I still don't understand why they've not tried him. I'm not saying this guy's going to be a success, but why have they not given these guys a chance and a platform to play Test cricket? Like, he, Ashdeep Singh has been India's best T20 bowler right now in terms of wickets. T20, both T20 World Cups, he was India's best bowler. Even IPL, he's always had a good IPL career. Like, why have you not transitioned him into Test cricket? Like, if they're taking Harshit Rana based on everything, if they're taking Prasidh Krishna, I don't know why they're not looking at players like this. Like, that's my point. Like, you have a vast amount of talent. You're not. I don't know what it is. Like, what is the issue behind giving these guys a chance? And I think they're well deserved. Like, going into Test cricket in Australia and not having one left arm seamer, not even the option of having one left arm seamer is crazy when you have like five spinners, four spinners in the Indian squad right now, where you don't even need spinners in when you're playing in Australia. Like a lot of things that don't make sense from a coaching perspective, or even if it's a captain, whoever it is. Like it really doesn't make sense why you're having certain players when you have certain players, you're not giving them a chance.
Yeah, yeah, it's tough one, but like I mean, I think we have to look ahead, bro. Okay, fine. Now you've said like Australia, this is gone. You're probably going to have Shami back. It looks like you'll have Shami back for England, but we don't know. Like you never know, and you don't know what Bumrah clearly workload got to him towards the end. Injury. We don't know the extent of the injury, but let's just say you have Bumrah and Shami. Rishi, are you like confident going into England? Like I'm not confident in the batting at all.
Bro, England is again like,
It's
are we
not that
talking
far.
test?
It's not that far away. It's like five,
Are
six
we are
months.
we talking? Yeah, if again I'm see that's the thing. Like when it comes to England, I feel Siraj really can get the ball moving. Like if there's one place where I'd bet on Siraj doing well, I think that's England. So considering he's going to be rested for this, who Bumrah's going to be rested and Shami's back, I think that three bowl like that frontline pace three of Siraj, Shami, and Bumrah, I think should be okay, should do a good job. And if you can have just one, like again, if he can get someone who can get somewhat of a seam movement, I think that should be okay. But my concern is a little bit long, like long term, like because Shami is getting old and Bumrah can't pretty much play almost every game. Like clearly the workload got to him. Is like I think he's that curious case of almost all pacers. Like if you overwork them, they're eventually going to break down. You need to rest them out. So that's the thing. Like who are the backups? Like where do we go? Like if Shami needs to rest, if Bumrah needs to rest, like who can actually step up? Like if it's anywhere outside England, like of course, if it's in India, we can get XYZ to cover up. We can like it's relatively easier. But for me, the problem I think is slightly deeper. Like exactly like Adi said, like we don't have a left arm pacer. We don't have like for all that Gambhir talks about, like the need for domestic cricket, the need for domestic practice. We're not clearly incentivizing it. We're not rewarding domestic
Mm.
cricket. We're not picking players solely like based on domestic cricket. So, like, dude, like if you want to go down that route, you have to follow it. If you really want to do that, like you have to back up your talk with action. So you need to pick players accordingly.
Bro, you know what is scary? The thing is, when you go into Australia, you think all the guys who aren't in form, this is the series to cash in, make runs because you, okay, this time you got one more spicy wicket than you expected, which was in Sydney. Other than Sydney, Melbourne, you could have got runs. Everyone could have got runs on that wicket. Adelaide, yeah, okay, you will say pink ball, all of that. Perth, one place they got runs, you had to score runs, you got some runs. But there's no confidence going into England because everywhere the ball is going to do something.
Bro, please don't tell me this
Everywhere.
India. Bro, but my point is, I think this England team is very bad. I can't lie. Like, this
Brother, have
England
you,
team,
Adi, just go and watch Joe Root bat in the last
Rahul,
two
but you
years.
can't just talk about
He
one
has
player. I'm
been
talking about 11 v
dominant.
11.
Bro, if he's going to score 200 runs, it's enough for the entire team.
Brother,
If
he was
he's
struggling against
he's
New
batting
Zealand.
double
Like,
hundreds. Bro, they went to New Zealand and won. They won. They didn't lose. They won
yeah,
2-1.
but Joe Root struggled in New Zealand, is my point. It's not like he
So
played
what
well.
is it? Bro, Harry
Joe Root,
Brook is
if
there.
if
Harry
once
Brook
again,
is doing the
if
job.
you're saying Joe Root is going to struggle, someone who's been at the peak of his game, I think we need to find a new word for our Indian batsmen who are going to go there.
But Rishi, yeah, Bumrah, right? It's gonna be fine. Like, he'll get everyone out. This that. But my point is, you look at the entire batting line of England, bro. Look at the entire batting lineup of England. I don't think they're as good as people make, bro. They're not able to beat Australia at home, like what last year itself. Like, you can't. I'm sorry, I
Ah,
can't.
yes,
I
too.
don't think
I'm
this
talking
England.
about, bro, in the last year, I can't see a better test batter than Joe Root. He has been
I agree,
amazing.
Rahul, but I'm talking about bro, that's my point. You can't just say one player means that entire test team is going to be
It's
good because,
not
like,
just him. It's even Harry Brook, the way he's batting, like,
that was not at all in those pitches where you can struggle. Like, I feel like Harry Brook in good pitches, I think he's going to struggle. I don't think he, again, for me personally, I still think he's not that accomplished to be like, yeah, this guy is going to play crazy. Point is, he has his own struggles. But coming down to it, you look at them, they have a very young squad. They don't have a number three right now. Their
Adi,
opening pair is,
their number
wait,
four
wait,
and
wait,
number
let me.
five are averaging 50 and 58.
Okay, Rahul, but look at the top four, top
That
three.
is the
It's
top four.
that
Joe Root is number
top
four.
three. Yeah, wait, top
Uh,
three. Ben Duckett,
okay.
Crawley, they always
You're saying
struggle.
you're not scared of Ben Duckett. Ben Duckett for me is like the Sam Conscious of England. If we don't
Oh,
get Ben Duckett early, it's scary.
bro, but I feel like England haven't proved enough at home. They've struggled to beat some teams like Sri Lanka at home, West Indies at home at times in
They won
the
the
in the
series
past
against
year.
Sri Lanka. Like they
I
beat
said
Sri
there's
Lanka.
a difference between struggling versus
No, they
being able
didn't
to win. My
struggle.
point,
They were 2-0 ahead and then they lost the last test, which didn't matter.
bro. But what do you mean it
They
doesn't
won.
matter? You
They
can
beat
still go
West
out and
Indies.
win the game, Rahul. You
They
can't be
beat
like it
West
doesn't
Indies
matter.
3-0. They beat West Indies
Sorry,
3-0. They went away to New Zealand and won. We have lost to New
That
Zealand at home.
bro. But
that New Zealand game they wrapped up in like 3-4 days or something. Like it was like I think they skittled New Zealand for like very little runs.
no, fair enough. But my whole point is, I see me personally. I look at this England team. They've been struggling to beat Australia forever. I feel like India still today. you look at India versus Australia, the first test match, I still think India are a better side than Australia, in my honest opinion. In terms of batting order, I still think the Indian batsmen are much better. Even though we've always said India has a batting collapse in the past 12 years, we can say India's batting has been struggling a lot. Right now, currently in the world, I think India has the best batting lineup when you look at them technically each batsman. Jaiswal's
But
been one of the
on what basis? Because clearly we're not
I
performing
don't even I don't
consistently.
know, bro. Adi, he scored a 170 and a 120 in New Zealand this tour. Joe
ooh.
Harrybrook.
Bro, but again, you look at guys like Gill, Jaiswal, they've always had these scores. Like Gill was scoring centuries for fun last year,
Gill,
Rahul.
Gill
Away from
outside
home. Where is he
India
getting
is a
scores?
Gill
Where is
outside
Gill
India,
getting
Gill
scores?
inside, like in
Bro,
with
that is my
subcontinent
point.
or like
That's
just
what
in
I'm
India
trying
are
to
like
say.
two
Like,
different players.
Rishi, but my whole point is you can always find something for each player. Like, this guy's crazy in this place, this guy's crazy in this place.
No,
My whole
overall,
point is,
Gill is not
No,
consistent
no,
enough.
I'm not
Rohit
over.
Sharma is a dead man walking. Virat Kohli has been out of form since
Adi,
2020.
just look at
So
you tell, I agree all
overall,
this, but please tell me,
Harrybrook averages 58 in Test cricket.
but bro, can you please tell
Uh,
me, is it the
yeah.
same facing Hazelwood, Cummins, Stark, Boland consistently, continuously for 5 test matches versus going to
Bro,
England
we
where they're gonna
couldn't get the job done when we were facing Ajas Patel at home also.
that is it, bro. That is a total different story, Rahul.
It,
So
you're
Bro,
once again,
because
you're saying overall. Now you're saying no overall. Like
what is the
what
storyline
do you
that
want
we
me to
have to
say?
fit for these batsmen to prove that
bro,
okay they are.
wait, are you trying to compare spinners and pacers? That's my whole point.
No,
Like you
I'm
I'm trying
can't
to
saying
compare.
compare.
I'm
Like
just telling you
You're
just
that
telling
comparing with
you're telling they're
no
getting out to Ajas Patel, but if you the point with spinners is if you give a spinner a spinning track, any spinner will look extraordinary. That's the whole point of it. That's how it works,
okay,
right?
fine. Okay,
once again.
so
So New
then
Vijay,
Zealand
by
do you agree
batsmen.
with me?
Once again,
Adi,
so
by
let me
that
get this straight.
logic,
New Zealand batsmen who came to India handled spin better than
Rishi,
Indians who were
no.
supposed
The
to be
last
good in
the last
spin.
test match
So
we needed
Indians
150.
can't.
I don't
So
think
once again,
the last
Indians
test
can't
match.
face spin in India. India can't face bounce and relentless line and length in Australia. India can't face lateral movement in England. India can't face like surprise bounces in South Africa. So what can India face then? Like
Rishi,
what
that's
like
the
dead
but
flat backs?
that's
Like
my
if we
point.
go
This
to
is
Pakistan, we might do well. But every
you're
batsman
saying
does well in
Adi,
Pakistan.
but
are you
wait,
saying
okay, let me give you a logic. You're
are you
saying
saying that
India
the
can't
Indian
wait, wait,
batting
wait,
right
wait.
now is better than
Bro,
the
wait.
English
Let
batting?
me no, I don't agree with all this logic because I'll give you simple. You
Hmm,
can't
tell
say
me.
Indians can't face spin in India when they were like literally abolished, demolished England in the beginning of the year. It doesn't make sense when you're coming and telling me, oh, India can't face spin. One series where Indian batsmen under a certain captain or coach started throwing wickets left, right, center, have no game plan to bat. You can't tell that as India can't play spin because I saw how they played spin in the first 4 test matches against England. The way Dhruv Jurel was playing, the way even Sarfaraz Khan to an extent was playing spin, they played beautifully. You come to the thing with India, New Zealand, I feel like it was a matter of impatience, and like just throwing away wickets. You go look at those games; they were trying to hit sixes in a test match when you needed to chase 150 runs. I don't really think New Zealand batted well. Like I can't say New Zealand were extraordinary batters. They were just Indians were just able to throw away the wickets. They threw it. My whole point is, bro, you look at England. I don't think they have the best bowling lineup right now. Like if you if
Yeah,
you have a
that I
certain,
agree. That I'll give you. But I cannot say
what am I
that the
trying to
Indian
say?
batting. Like, how are you saying that the Indian batting is better than the English batting right now? Like, based on
I
what?
bro, I do believe based on experience, based on playing. Like I've seen more
What
of Gill. I've
experience? Okay,
seen more.
what?
Once again,
Based on how experience? How experience?
Bro, are you telling? Wait, are you
Uh,
telling Jaiswal having Jaiswal,
uh,
KL Rahul,
has never been to England. Next,
KL Rahul?
Jaiswal.
oh,
Bro, it doesn't.
No, no. Next,
I.
you're saying
So you're
the
saying
only
you're
wait.
saying
reliable
So Jaiswal was
experience.
batsman
never. Wait,
in
wait,
England
wait. The
You're
idea
was
saying
is
KL Rahul,
experience, and you're
and
telling
from
me
the
Jaiswal
series
is
we picked
not.
up a gem
Jaiswal
gem
is.
in Nitish Kumar Reddy. That's it. Who are the other reliable batsmen?
Rishi. My whole point is when you have batsmen like KL Rahul's played England, you can't say Jaiswal's never played in England because he's never played in West Indies. He never played in
KL
Australia,
Rahul
and he
won.
performed well there
Yeah,
also.
so
Like you
that's
can't
what
just
I'm
say
saying. So I'm asking you, what is your basis of saying that the Indian batting is better? You're saying experience. He's
as a
never played in
batting core,
England.
as skill sets, and as
Uh,
players who played more cricket, right now, if you look at compare England versus India, I still think India has a better batting lineup, Rahul. Like, if you don't agree, I can't help it, but I genuinely think they have a better top order.
I don't
They're better.
think.
They're not
I
We have
performing. It's a
better
bit,
names. Of course, we have better names,
Bro,
but
that way you
everyone
can
are
say
out of favor.
anything. Like
so.
that
For
way,
example,
Everyone
Hassan
if,
are
and
out
if
of
Ashwin are
favor.
better than anyone in the world.
Yeah.
Like,
what? How,
that
bro?
you can say
Bro, are
anything.
you? For example,
Just
okay, like let me take this into a football perspective, right? Like I'll just give you a thing. Like for example, let's say Arsenal's attack versus Brentford's attack. Okay,
Hmm.
just because Brentford is scoring more goals than Arsenal, will you guys saying Brentford's attack is better than Arsenal's
I'm
attack?
sorry, but you
Once again,
cannot
if
compare the
Arsenal's
English
majority
batting
of
to
Arsenal's attackers
India batting
haven't
and
scored.
England is not Brentford Arsenal.
No, but my point is when you're
It's not.
scoring
That's
certain
not
amount
the
of
Okay,
same.
you're
once again, Adi. So if Arsenal's attack have not scored or created chances for almost 3 to 4 years, and if Brentford
where
are
is
doing
three? Are you saying
once
Indian
again,
batting has not
if,
scored
if
runs for 3 to 4
Brentford's have been
years?
Guys,
doing
one
well for
second.
this
Where is
one
it
whole
going,
year,
bro?
like yeah, this currently right now
You are,
Brentford's attack are doing well. There's no shame
bro.
in
You're
admitting that.
bro. You leave. Okay, bro. Oh my God.
Like
Leave.
okay,
Bro,
you
There's no
have a
point,
60 million signing, you have a 70 million signing. If they're not doing well, they're not doing
guys.
well. Like what
Okay,
can you
guys.
do?
1 second. 1 second. Okay, bro. The football thing doesn't make any sense here because we're going to
no,
England.
I'll tell you
Wait,
why.
1 second. We are going to England. We are going to play in English conditions where these guys have done well. You cannot deny that.
But bro, Rahul, players like Rahul, players like Rohit Sharma, players like Virat Kohli have done very well in England. What do you want me to talk about that? Like,
Bro, I don't know how to tell you, but bro, one guy is belting hundreds for fun in England. I don't think
one guy, bro, Rahul, but if
both
only
of
one,
them, Harry Brook
you're
also.
saying, you're saying England's batting performance is higher and a better because Harry Brooks scored a century against Sri Lanka, West Indies, so they're a better batting unit. Is that your whole basis? Like, I don't get it.
Brother, he
No,
scored
players like Harry
1500
Brook,
in New
players like
Zealand.
So, are you
Joe Root,
saying
players
players
like
like
even
Harry Brook is better?
Ollie Pope hasn't been too bad either. Ollie Pope has
Holly
been like
Pope?
yeah, he's been consistently scoring 40s, 50s, 60s. I think he
There's a
scored like
different
two
way.
50s in a test.
So, can you like my whole point is again, it's back to maybe
Mhm.
Indian batsmen are not performing right now, but are you guys sitting right now and telling me that having a batting lineup, let me just say clearly, having a
Mhm.
batting lineup of Jaiswal, KL Rahul, Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli, Rishabh Pant, and right now Nitish Kumar Reddy, maybe number six, maybe Dhruv Jurel. A bit of that's the only thing where I feel like okay, there is no certain set member
Dhruv
there.
Jurel is not going to play if the first five or six you mentioned are going to play, by the way.
I'm saying just my example, like it's either
Yeah, yeah,
Nitish
yeah,
Reddy
yeah.
or
But
Dhruv Jurel who plays number six. Like that's my whole point. Like
Okay.
it's a punt between them, right? Having those guys versus an inexperienced batting lineup, in my opinion, who's not played enough Test cricket. You're talking about Harry Brook. He's only played Test cricket. His numbers have risen in the past like 12 months. You
he's
can't
not
just
a
say okay,
new
this is
guy, bro. He's played 24 test matches. That's probably how many Gill would have played.
no. That's how
Once
many
again,
Jaiswal would have played.
that's
I,
more than that's probably more than how
Adi,
much
one
Yashasvi Jaiswal
second.
would have played.
no,
Ollie
Rishi
Pope is their
Jaiswal's
number
played
three.
more than
Ollie
24
Pope is their
Test matches,
number
please.
three. Adi, Ollie Pope is their number three. He's played 55
No,
test
Bethel
matches.
is the number three, by the way. It's not Oli Pope.
No, Ollie Pope played
Ollie
after
Pope is
Harry Brook. He came after Harry Brook.
no,
Bro,
but like
their batting
traditionally their
lineup has
number
always
three is
been
Ollie Pope.
inconsistent.
Leave the New Zealand series aside. If you look at it, it's Crawley and Duckett, Pope, Root,
Pope,
Brook.
yeah,
Okay, they have all
No, but
played
are you
test cricket.
okay?
and
But like,
Stokes.
my whole point is, can you
Yeah,
sit
and
and
Stokes.
say that guys like Jaiswal, KL Rahul are not better than Ben Duckett and what do you call Crawley? I would certainly say these
I
guys are
think
a better
Crawley,
opening pair.
yes, I would say any.
KL
I
Rahul
think
reliable, yes,
definitely
but
better than Crawley.
Jaiswal hasn't been to England, so you can't really say what you're gonna get from him. That's it. If he
Exactly.
does well, he
Yeah.
does well. But
Rishi, but
I'm not saying anything
this
to say
idea
that he
doesn't make sense, bro. It's like saying Labuschagne never went to England, so you can't say he's a better batsman or not. Like you know, he's still a good
Yeah,
batsman.
No,
yeah,
That's the whole
yeah.
I'm
Of
point.
not saying
course,
he's
I
better
would say
batsman. I'm
if
saying
I
I
haven't
don't know
seen him
what
in
to
those
get from him.
conditions, I
I
would
don't know
say
what to
that.
expect from him. There's a
Yeah.
difference.
Oh, you have to. You can't say I don't know what, brother. The point is, if they're a batsman, you expect them to play well everywhere. You can't be like, I expect Jaiswal to play good here, but I don't expect him to play here well.
No, the
You can't say
why
I
not?
don't.
Then
Why
I
not?
mean the same
No,
logic you used to
no.
say stuff like Rohit
What
Sharma is
I'm
doing
saying,
well
like
or Virat
of
Kohli is
course I'll
playing
say
well.
that.
Virat Kohli hasn't
Yeah.
performed well in 4 years, so he's nicking the same ball outside off every single time. So on what basis are
4 years?
you saying that Virat Kohli is a good batsman like right now?
Rishi had
Like
an average of 55 in test last year, so I don't know if it's 4 years. But again, example is at the skill level, bro. Are you going to say Bumrah is not a better bowler than
I
what
think
Gus
India have a
Atkinson?
better bowling lineup. That I'm conceding. I think India
Why
definitely have a better
I can
bowling lineup.
simply sit and say Siraj or someone. I mean, Prasid Krishna is not bowled in
No, he's
England.
not
How do
going to
you know
play.
what
It
is
is going
going,
to be Siraj, Bumrah, and Shami, and all of them are
bro?
experienced in England. We had the same attack when we went in 2021. Some of
And
these
we still
bowlers
drew two
have
all,
played
by
in
the way.
2018 when we went. Bumrah played in 2018. Shami has been there in 2018. So I'm not concerned about the bowling because I know they have been to England and I know they're experienced enough. The ball is going to move. These guys are good enough, especially Bumrah and Shami and Siraj's first change. I think they're very good. We're good enough to have a solid outing there with the ball. But with the bat, I am scared. I don't think we have a better batting lineup
Exactly.
than
I'll tell
England.
you what. But the whole point is with the bat, you're
Hmm.
scared because they're not in good form. But I'm sorry if you guys are genuinely saying, as a
Adi, it's
batting
not
unit,
about, it's not, I'm not scared because they're not in good form. I'm scared because in England, India traditionally have not done well. The last
Charles,
time,
last year
Adi,
we were winning
okay,
2-1
done.
until
Okay, one
there was a
second.
code break.
So when was the last time, bro, we won with all these good batters that we had? When was the last time we won in England? And we haven't won in the last 15 years.
Let me give you a
Or
context to
when
that.
was the last time are
Hmm.
these good batsmen did well in England? Or when was the last time are these good like players like Shubman Gill did well outside of India? Like it's not even like recent out of form. In certain batsmen's case, it's not even a recent form thing. It's like they have been out of favor for a while now. But okay, fine. There's
Bro,
one thing to say that you have to back them, you have to give them time. I agree. But on what basis are you saying, okay, Shubman Gill is a very good batsman? Okay, but dude,
but my
ever
point
since
is with
he
the
has
same
such
batting
a bad
lineup.
horrid batting lineup, like run
One
of
second, wait.
scoring.
So I'll give you the same example. Remember that, which was the test match? I forgot the test match where India got 10 wickets in 60 overs that one session.
Yeah, yeah, that's the
It
law
is,
test. Lord's test,
yeah,
yeah.
Lord test, correct.
Hmm.
It's the same batting lineup since then to now. England have the same batting lineup. So what is the difference where you're
No,
saying
they don't
England
have
batting
Crawley
lineup?
Burns at the top.
Okay, apart from Crawley and Burns, it's the same batting lineup. Like they still have Pope, they still have Ruth, they still have
Yeah,
Duckett.
and they're still going to
There is
do
nothing
well.
changed, Rahul.
Bro, the point is,
The
brother,
difference
if
is
you look,
there.
the
Most
Indian
of them are
batting
playing.
is not good enough. We didn't have. I don't even know who opened for us in that series.
It was Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul.
Yeah, now you have Jaiswal in. Gill did not play that tour. I
No,
who
Gill was the
played
only
that?
guy who didn't play that tour because he was not there
Yeah,
in a test team at that time.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You've made two changes in your top four there already. Assuming Rohit Sharma is not going to play. Um, yeah, and then you've got a young
No,
Nitish
my
Kumar
whole
Reddy
point
coming
is
in.
you guys have put England batting at a pedestal by saying, bro,
I'm
this
not
is
putting
such a.
them at a pedestal. I think
You
ours is
are,
that
you
bad,
are.
and we
No,
don't have the players.
we're just saying theirs is better than us. It's not saying
Yeah,
there's a
In what
light of
so
sense, bro?
there's a
Like,
difference of day and
bro,
night.
Jaiswal is averaging around 50 every time. KL Rahul's play he's always been a reliant test player. Virat Kohli throughout his career has been a great player. Punt is averaging like 40, 50 every time. Like I can't sit and say, okay, these guys they have a better batting team. Like I can't sit and say they can perform well, but I'm saying skill set level, Indian players play more cricket everywhere. They have to be at a higher level, and they are like in terms of skill sets. It's just
I
that application is a different
disagree,
thing.
bro.
Bro, are you like I can't accept the fact that you guys are saying like England have a better batting unit. They're scoring more runs right now, sure, fair.
Adi,
But for
I mean,
example,
okay,
for example,
Virat Kohli has not gone to England in his bad patch. Okay, that's what we're saying. Virat Kohli averages 33 in Test cricket in England. Shubman Gill averages 14 in Test cricket in England. Okay, like this is
how many games has Gill played in England,
three
Rahul? Like
games, but
against
three games. So now what?
he's
Then what? Are you saying? Then how are you backing him? Okay,
bro, but 3 games.
KL
When was
Rahul,
this? Like
KL
when
Rahul
Rahul,
probably has the highest average, 39.79. None of the Indian batters are even touching 40. Is that not
okay,
like?
no,
Are you
no,
still backing them?
same example. Okay, same example. Take the same example. Can you give me the batsman when
Hmm.
who faced Australia, like last year, or when England faced India in 2021, 22? Can you give me their averages and show me what was their averages at that series?
I'm not
in
giving you just
India,
that series average.
No,
I'm
in
giving you
England.
averages
I'm see,
overall. I'm giving you averages overall in England. All I'm saying is, if we are considering this is Kohli over a long period, this is KL
Rahul,
Rahul,
it's a
even
simple
including the
thing.
2018 tour. So it's not. I'm not saying I'm not isolating the series. I'm saying traditionally England not much changes. We know the wickets don't change. It has played the same for ages, but we don't have the players who have done well there. We haven't won series there. And in that situation, I am looking at the batters because you need to bat a certain way to do well in England. As sad as it is, like that is just how it like when you go and tour these countries, you have to bat like that. You have to bat a certain way to do well. And I haven't seen it from the Indian batters. Like we don't have a single. Rishabh Pant also doesn't average 40 in England. Like nobody averages 40 in like in England from the Indian batting, the tops 5 6. Is that not a worrying sign? I find
Bro,
if
let me
I
just
don't.
say,
Hmm.
2021, India scored 191, 466, while England managed to only score 290 and 210. My whole point is you can have consistent batting from England means that my whole point is I don't think the batting lineup is as good. For example, they're going to face Indian bowling lineup at the end of the day. So if you guys are coming to me and saying, Indian bowling lineup is so good, but their batting lineup is crazy, are you saying like they won't crumble against Indian bowlers' pressure? Like I think guys like
No,
Bumrah,
they
Siraj will
might,
do
but
well.
I'm saying, see, I agree. I think
Bro,
even
but
if you
that's
get,
my point. Like, if you're looking at it, I
hmm,
would back Indian batsmen to face an inexperienced England bowling lineup versus England batsmen who inexperienced. Like, I can't sit and say guys like Crawley, Battler played enough Test cricket. Even Harry Brooks will
Bethel
be
is
fit.
not going to play. Bethel is not going to play.
Why? He's the new
Because
number three.
Stokes was not available. No, that's why they put
Stokes was captaining New Zealand, Rahul. He was
I
available
don't
for
know,
all
but there
Test
was
matches.
somebody missing. Otherwise, why will Bethel play? Like I
That is
don't.
because they want to integrate him in the
Okay,
number
okay,
three.
fine. Okay, say Bethel is going to play. Bethel plays.
Okay, even if it doesn't, if someone else, my whole point is it's going to be someone inexperienced. My point is, I don't think they played enough Test cricket to come and sit and say, yeah, they're going to score a lot of runs against India. They're going to take fun of us. Like,
Bro, I
sorry,
am
I can't
not.
see it.
I can't
Secondly,
help it but say that Joe Root is like Steve Smith. Like, if you go to England and you're bowling to Joe Root, he will score 200s. Like how Smith scored, Joe Root will score hundreds. And that's enough to take the game away in England. In Australia, you have to score 350, 400. In England, you just need 250, 300. And if that means you just need 100 or one big 150 from somebody and you're done. You need 30, 40 from a couple of others, your score is made. That's what I'm saying. Like
I don't know, bro.
it
Like,
is.
it feels like
I don't know. I mean, like we'll I'm a little worried. I think I've always been worried when we go to England. I think England is our toughest tour, not Australia. Like I've always maintained that, and I've always felt it because one place where it is very hard to win. We get absolutely smashed in England. We got since that victory that we've had in 2007, we've got battered in 2011, battered in 2015, 2018. Okay, we've kind of fought, but we still lost significantly, 4-1 or something, 4-1 or 3-1. And then the only time we competed and came closest was last time. So
and we were
if you
leading 2-1, by the way.
yeah, I'm just saying, like if you look at it as a whole, like last time was the closest we came, and that's the only time we've really competed with England in England. So if you and yeah, man, like I think if you take all of that into context, I am a little worried with the batting. And at that time, I would have had probably a little more faith in Virat Kohli than what I do now. And like he's a big reason, like for of India's batting like success anywhere, right? So if I don't have that confidence in somebody like Virat Kohli going into a series, I'm going to be scared. Like I think that's just natural.
No, but that's the thing. Like, technically, I feel like these technically skill wise, as Indian players individually, they're better than England players. My whole point again, it comes down to coaching, it comes down to game plan, it comes down to mentality. You can't, I don't see the thing with me is I don't expect these guys to go there. Like, I wouldn't say, you're saying Jaiswal Gill, it's their first test going to England. I don't know, even know if Gill's going to play. But if they're going to England, they're going to play the first test match. You guys were like, you don't expect them to score runs. My point is, I expect them to score runs. I expect every player to score well.
No, I expect
You
them to
can't.
score, but I don't think they will. This is a
Yeah,
different
that
thing.
exactly.
Exactly,
Of course, I
exactly.
expect them to
Why
score.
is that? It is it's a plain side coaching issue, bro. It's a coaching issue, captain issue, whatever you want to put, strategy issue. It comes down to do you guys have a plan? Do they know how to play these conditions? I feel like they have the skill set to play any conditions because even Jaiswal, he went to West Indies. It's not the easiest condition to go to West Indies and score a century in your first Test match. Like top players have gone to West Indies and struggled, like in West Indies. Like he went and scored there. Came to Australia, scored a century in his second innings in Australia. I don't think they're lacking skills. Like even KL, like he played beautifully. I think England can be an. I think unfortunately England is one place I don't know what I'll get from KL because I think he tends to struggle with swing a lot. Just my opinion.
Hmm.
But Rohit Sharma, I think if he's still playing Test cricket at that time, I think England is one of those places where he can play well because like he's a guy who can play well to swing. Like that's his style suits well to swing. He's always been able to play swing well. Like that's the whole point. Like I don't know if he's going to bat or not, but if he does, maybe again Rohit Sharma entire career He's had a great career. I can't sit and say like these guys can play. They have the technical level, capacity, and the skill sets to play. It comes down to okay, do the management, do the captain have a right plan to go against these bowlers who are very inexperienced. I don't even know who's going to bowl for England like in the next 6 months. Like you guys don't have three names, so like okay, certainly they'll play. Like you don't know if Jofra Archer will play.
Gus
You don't know who's going to
Atkinson
play.
will play.
No, Gus
Bryden Cars
Atkinson
will
is good,
play.
and Gus Atkinson has been good.
Atkinson, yeah, I agree, but like again,
Even Bryden Cars had a brilliant New Zealand
I
tour
thought
run.
Bryden Cast was very good in Pakistan. Like if Bryden Cast can, he's a good bowler. Like I would say
Yeah.
like he is one of the, yeah, they don't have the best bowling. I agree, but I think if
see,
like India,
I'm not talking about best bowling or batting. My point is, I think India have a batting lineup. They have the skills, they have the names to go to an England tour and be able to adapt to it. But the whole point is, can they use their skills? Can they use their brains? Can they use their experience to adapt to it? My whole point is, bro, the New England bowlers, I've not seen them enough. I know there's a lot of hype behind Gus Atkinson. That's one thing I know. But apart from them, like I don't know, I've not watched them enough to know how what you can get from them. But if you go to England and I'm like, okay, you're going to face Virat Kohli versus someone else, like Rohit Sharma versus someone else, guys like Jaiswal, Gill, who played highest level of cricket for a lot of time. Like I would back them to go there and adapt themselves to a bit inferior bowling lineup to what they faced previously. Like that's
Adi,
what I would
like
like to put it
listen,
at.
what I'm saying is that's easier said than done. The greatest
It is
Sachin
easier said
Tendulkar,
than done. I'm
the
not saying it's going to
greatest,
be an easy
the
thing.
greatest VVS Lakshmans, the greatest Saurav Gangulis have gone there, who are probably the best batters of that generation, talent wise and everything wise. They've scored 10,000 test runs, all of them, but they still haven't gotten the job done. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not an easy place for somebody to go and debut and score hundreds for fun, and that's why I there will be a certain apprehension like when it comes to like people like Jaiswal, people like Gill who haven't played enough there. That's just natural. Like even the greatest of batters have not done superbly well there. Like Kohli also, I told you, like he averages 30 something. It's not the best. It's not been the best place for him. So there is a certain challenge, and there is a certain challenge. We have to accept it. Like it's okay. Like that. I don't think England had the best uh, bowling lineup in 2007 or 8, but they still did well. Like because the conditions suit them. They've played there all their life, and I think conditions are a big thing in cricket. Like where you grow up and where you play your cricket, you're used to those that weather, that those conditions.
You're
It
getting
just suits
skittled by
them
guys
better.
like
Like
Matthew Hoggard, Andy Caddick,
oh, look at Chris Tremlett. I
Ryan
don't think they were
Stein
ever
Bottom,
great players. Like, but they did
Steve
well.
Harmison.
Stephen, all these guys. Like, who even remembers them? But like, they did well because at the end of the day, they played at home. Like, and when you play at home, there is a weirdly like some sort of advantage that you get because you've played there for all your life.
Then can
And
you
now it's like
explain why England have lost to Australia 2 Ashes in a row? Like, can you just give me an explanation to that?
two Ashes in a row in England.
Hmm.
Where
No,
have they
when
lost two
they
Ashes?
retained the Ashes,
No,
they
where
drew
they
the last
haven't.
series.
They haven't lost. They haven't lost at home. When did they lose
Yeah,
at home?
they drew the last
England
the
lost.
no they
Brother,
the this one the
dude,
one where
wasn't there
Brad
that big
Stokes went
controversy
out.
where yeah, that was where England lost the Test series. They're not
No,
able. They haven't.
they drew it. They
No,
came
no,
back.
that is
They didn't.
Australia retained it.
They
That's all.
lost.
Yeah,
They didn't
Australia
lose.
Yeah,
retained it. They came back.
yeah. You need to be dominant at home, bro. Like 5 Test series, you're not able to win. Where is
Yeah,
it?
so that
And
is just one series, da. Like you're telling me, like they didn't win.
no,
It's not like they lost.
Rahul, what are you saying? Australia went and won the Ashes in England. Please go check
They
it.
retained the Ashes. There's a difference.
Adi,
Please
they
go
didn't
check. Can you tell me when was the last time England and Australia played?
in England
Apart before 2024
before
in England.
2024.
20.
Yeah,
Wait, I'm
England. Yeah,
checking.
it was in 2023. It was 2-all. That's what. That's when.
Before that, Rahul, it was in 2019, right? After the World Cup. Do you
Yeah, the
remember
one
that?
2019. Yeah, yeah. So last time they didn't lose. That's what I'm
So
trying to
who
say.
won the Ashes in 2019? Tell me. It was Australia.
This is the Stokes
Yeah, Edgbaston.
Headingley.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. They
It was
lost.
again a draw.
It was a draw.
It
Bro,
was a draw,
Australia
Adi.
won that
It was a
series.
2-all draw.
No, it was two
What?
Adi, it's
all.
a 2-all draw.
The Lord's Test was a draw.
So you're.
They have
That's what I'm
not
saying.
lost it.
You're
They have
saying
not
the
lost
might.
Ashes
Like
in
you're
England for a
clearly
while.
they don't lose,
One
bro. In
second.
England, England don't lose in England. Like
They only
Okay, but
retained.
Wait,
The
what are you
Johnny
saying?
Bairstow one was the one where they retained it.
Yeah, both of them
The
were
one
2-all.
before COVID was the series
Oh,
where
sorry, it was 2-all, 2-all, correct.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
so you're
So
telling me,
that's
wait,
why.
wait. So I want to
Yeah.
get this right, okay? England have faced India and Australia three times since 2019 at home,
Hmm.
and they failed to beat them in three test series continuously,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Just trying to understand because it shows that it's not like England are superior at home. I was just trying to.
Dude, the thing is, at the end of the day, like, I think England, Australia is like one of those things where anything can happen. But I think India, England, like, is a different ball game. I think India did very well. I thought India outplayed like England when we went. We were extremely good, but I don't
Rahul,
have the same
but come on,
confidence. I
da,
just
are you?
don't think. I don't think we have the same batting. I don't think we have. I don't have the
But
same
Once
but
again,
confidence.
but
the
I was
batting
very
like
for
I'll give you
comfortable
England,
this
in 2019.
example. Okay, I'll give you this
the
example.
the
We have
batting for England at that point was Rory Burns, Jason Roy, Joe Denley, Josh
Yeah,
Butler.
it was not.
Moeen
It was
Ali was
not
still
the.
playing for them. So
when was
these are
this?
five of the seven batsmen. The
When
2019
was
Ashes where
this? Okay, but Rishi, 2019 Ashes got over. It came to 2023, 2024. Even there, they lost. Like, my point is that, I mean, they're not able to win. Like, my whole point is it's been three test series against a top team where they're not able to actually win at home. Like, my whole point is, okay, you're talking about England conditions being so horrid and England will dominate it. But when I actually see England against a top team, I don't think they're able to do it much. Like, that's just my
Okay,
general
Adi.
opinion.
Like so that then why haven't teams beaten them in at home?
Why are they not beating their own? Why are they
They
not
have
able to
beaten
win
everyone
series
else.
at
They
home,
haven't
Rahul?
lost. At the end of the day, bro,
I
you will
mean,
go and say in
that
India,
question can be
I
asked to
haven't
us
been
also.
I haven't been beaten at
how did
home.
we get
Like
whitewashed at home? How
Yeah,
did
but
we how
bro,
did
bro,
we
what's the
fail
yeah,
difference
to
between?
score?
Okay,
We
so
scored 200
are you
plus
saying
on
drawing at
average during
home?
Australia. We
Are
scored
you saying
200 plus on two occasions out of
Rishi?
10
Wait,
innings,
wait, wait.
nine
I'll
innings.
give you
By
an
the way.
example. India won what 2-1 or 3-1 last year to Australia at home. India won final last time to against in 4-0 final against
4-1.
England when the last time they came.
4-1.
No, no,
No,
4-1.
not this year. The last time, the previous
Yes,
time.
yes, yeah. They won the
Yeah.
first test. Chennai test, they
So,
won. Joe Root scored a double.
so can you see there's a huge difference between just able to draw at your own home when that's supposed to be a strong suit versus other teams like even England.
I'm not
They're not
saying
been
this
able to win.
England team is incredible. I don't think anybody's saying this England team is wow. But I'm saying, bro, in their home conditions, they will be hard to beat. There is no doubt
And
about it.
There's a
And
no,
difference
and
between
this
and
is
hard
the
to
current
bro,
Indian team.
even
that is one thing,
bro, tell
and
me
we
just one
our
thing.
batsmen
Hmm.
consistently struggle in England. Like it's the two. It's
It's a
just
combination of
these
No,
two
but my
everything.
point
compound.
is even they struggle, bro. Like that's what I'm trying to say. It's not like they're going to, bro. Thing with me and Australia, I feel like with Australia, if they get their batting right, they can score hundreds of runs if they want in Australia. But for me, I feel like with England, with the bowlers India have, they can still get them all out earlier. Like that's my whole point. I still feel like you can put pressure on these England batsmen. It's not like point is if they're bro. With last time India went to England, we were winning by 160 runs. Like two games we won was 160, 170 runs like each. Like if you can get them all out in 60 overs, like I'm sure you can like put that pressure on them. I don't think they're the best at their own home conditions. That's what I'm trying to put out. Like that's why I come down to if England are facing Indian bowling lineup and Indians are facing England bowling lineup, I still feel like Indian batsmen can do well. And like the point is, England also crumble down in their own home. Like it's not like they're going to just outscore you for fun. And you're talking about guys like Stokes, but even he's not been in the greatest form. Like you can't just ignore everything and be like, yeah, we're like it's
I'm
always
not
going to be tough.
ignoring everything. I'm saying is, bro, at the end of the day, they're batting the way they're coming into this series on the back of the New Zealand series, where Brook has scored hundreds. Joe Root has had an incredible summer in England. There is no way I can overlook that and say, oh wow, everybody in India is doing extremely well. They
Rahul, but
will do
if you
better
want to
than
put
them
that
on the
logic of
batting front.
incre-
How
no, if
are
you
you
want to put that
saying Joe Root, that guy scoring triple hundreds? We're saying yeah now, but we're still going to say Virat Kohli is going to do better than Joe Root.
Rahul, if
How?
you want to put that
How?
no, but the logic of okay, I'll tell you the logic. You're saying they're coming off of a brilliant test win against New Zealand, right? That's
Bro,
your
he's
idea. But
also
my
had a very good summer at home. He's scored runs against
against,
West
but
Indies.
what are the
He's
teams they're
scored
facing,
runs against Sri
Rahul? Like
Lanka.
exactly.
Yeah.
The
Like
team
when you're
that
not
just whitewashed us at
Adi,
our home.
Virat Kohli didn't score runs against
Sri
Bangladesh. Then
Lanka.
what do you want me to say?
Sorry,
Virat Kohli didn't score runs against Bangladesh. What do you want me to say?
Brother, he scored so many runs against Bangladesh. He scored like some 70 odd runs in 50 balls, right?
Bro, if you're telling me some 15 average in 1 year is good enough, I have no idea what to say, bro.
See, I come down to context, bro. Like everyone has a dip here. Like
Brother, this
Sachin
is
had.
so that then if you're saying context is important, then you take it with context,
No, no,
no?
one
Okay,
second.
okay.
How is context is important, but you're saying England's recent form and the recent batting, like not even that recent, like one, like probably over
Rishi,
1 year.
where was
That
this
doesn't
against
consider
India in the
enough.
beginning of the year? Then tell me.
Bro, oh, I'm Adi, you're not getting this. I'm saying we're going to England. We haven't won there in ages. We always go and get
But
battered.
Rahul, you're
That is the
saying okay.
context. That is the context. And to additionally, India have lost their last two test series, 3-0 at home to New Zealand, then have lost to Australia. That is the context. And you're going there and you're telling me you're confident that our batting is better than theirs. They've lost one series in the last year.
Against who did they lose?
Pakistan, that's it.
So did they not lose against India?
In the last year, they came in Jan, no, Jan or like after the India
Of
series.
this year, right?
In after the India series, they have lost one test series, bro, against Pakistan.
Bro, but like you put that context, even India lost two test series, even England lost two test series. But I don't want to
Yeah, but the
go play
difference
that.
is India has played like what, three test series since then,
Bro, whatever. Like they played four test
and
series.
England have
They
played
won.
more.
Bro, England just lost to India. Like, what else do you need? Like, that's my whole point.
Yeah, at
England,
home, the conditions are very different, and
I
the way
agree,
we're
and that's
going
what,
into these,
bro, please, that's
yeah,
what I'm saying. I agree the conditions are different, but my whole point is you have paces of India who's much better. Like, you have to look at that also. You can't just say,
I
bro,
know.
England are good at
The thing
England.
is, I am literally giving and telling you, bro, our bowling is definitely better.
Our probably our bowling is the only reason we're gonna stay in the
Yeah, if
competition.
we are
We're
going
gonna
to
stay very much in the hunt to
exactly,
draw the series.
if we are
If
going to
we didn't
compete,
have the
it will be
bowling that
because of
we do
bowling.
have right now, like it's gonna be very ominous for us.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
think
to be fair,
if we are
you
going to compete, it's going to be because of our bowling. Because Bumrah will do well,
but that
Shami will
is
do well.
Rahul, but that's the point. Like conditions in England is always like if you have a strong bowling lineup, you will be able to compete there. And that's what I'm trying to get down to. Even
No, I think it's
whatever
the
your
opposite. I think you need, even if you take, say, like genuinely
You
like 120, 125 bowler, he will get the ball to swing, he will make things happen. But I think what is hard in
yeah, you
England
need
is to score
batsmen.
runs.
You need 2, 3 batsmen who can score
Score
30
runs on
plus,
the, yeah.
and preferably a batsman who can stay in, dig in, and score 100, 150. You need someone who can consistently give
so
these 30 pluses, these 40 pluses, and a batsman who's in the peak of his form giving consistent 100 pluses. I look at that England side, there are batsmen more than capable of doing this. Okay, maybe not 100
but
every game
who, Rishi? But tell
because
me
our bowling
who is
attack is very
doing that?
superior. But you flip the cards. England bowlers in England, they don't have to be an all-time bowling lineup to be good. You can have your Bryden Carrs, you can have your Gus Atkinsons, you can have
Rishi, but
these
they've
guys.
not been able to beat with Stuart Bird. They had Stuart Bird. They had who do you call that? Anderson. They've had Archer at that time when they were playing Australia. Like they're still not able to win. And my point is,
Yeah,
you
there's a
can't sit and
difference
say,
in Australia, a proper Australia playing the peak of their cricket versus Indian batsmen who are completely out of favor in the last 1 year, excluding, say, Yashasvi Jaiswal, who is again yet to go. I'm not saying Yashasvi Jaiswal won't do well. I'm just saying I am concerned about him because he has not been to England. If he does well, fair enough. The others, okay, KL Rahul, fair enough. He's done relatively well. We don't have a proper batsman who's going to hang in there and dig in. Virat Kohli, his weaknesses are known. Rohit Sharma is completely, again, you can say in the past he's done well, but he has failed to do well even in India. So I'm not going to bank on someone like Rohit Sharma. So who else is there? Shubman Gill is having highway between his bat and pad consistently. Outside India, his runs are horrible. So on what
he
basis are you
hasn't
saying, okay,
played.
we have the
Bro, bro. To be fair
on
with
what
Gill, he
basis
hasn't played
we
enough
have the
outside
names?
India.
Okay, we have the names, we have the reputations, we have the so-called big names, but if they are not firing, if they're not remotely in their good forms, on what basis are you saying I'll give context and place them at a better rate? Because traditionally we've known, we've taken our best batsmen at the our peak of our prowess, and we've gone and struggled against England bowlers who are not even great. These England bowlers are England like bowlers who do only well in England, and they've managed to skittle us. So on what basis are you saying that won't happen again when our batsmen are clearly struggling? Like, just because they are names, like again, names are only names when
Bro,
when they're producing with the
like
bat.
you realize I'm not saying just because of their names. My point is, I feel like they have the skill set. It's about implying the application of the skill set in a certain scenario. You have to put in the context. The bowlers they're going to face are not bowlers who played enough test cricket right now. Bro, I've seen Rohit Sharma go 140 runs against England last time when India went there. I can't sit and say it's going to always be like England are always dominant in their own home ground, and they I feel like they're not comfortable in their own ends. That's my whole point. So if you played India, Australia 3 times in what 6 years, and you fail to win in 3 years, all the 3 times, it also shows that England have their own flaws. They're not able to play well in their own
Bro,
home
second
conditions,
thing is,
which they're supposed to dominate. Rahul, you're supposed to dominate your own home. They're not been able to do it 3 times in a row. You can't just take that
bro,
out of the
definitely
fact.
England have their flaws, but you cannot
And my point
ever
is,
take
and my
away
point
the
is,
fact that they will be dangerous in their home. It's not going to be easy for us to beat them. It will never
Rahul,
be
I've
easy.
never said for a second it's going to be easy. Is that what I'm trying to say? My whole point is I still think Indian batsmen play more cricket. You can say in the past, okay, they've gone there, bro. They've all no one's
Bro,
played well. They've struggled.
again, there is more context to this. They didn't have a Harry Brook who has clearly risen through the ranks. They didn't have, I think Joe Root is in the best form of his life right now. This is probably the peak of Joe Root we are seeing in the last 1.5 years. Okay, like you have to give that context also. They did not have a Ben Duckett who comes out and he's playing
They've had
aggressively
Ben
like
Duckett
all the game.
forever, Rahul. Please, Duckett has been
I
there
think
for
the
a
last
long
time when we
time.
went there, it was Rory Burns opening the batting for them.
Yeah, but
Who's
I'm
Rory
saying
Burns?
Duckett's been playing for a while. He's
No, my
played for
point
India
is
against India. Was playing.
I'm talking about Ben Duckett in England against India or Australia. He hasn't been there until
Duckett
the
played
recent.
last Ashes, Rahul.
That's
Please
what I'm
go
saying.
check.
In the last 1.5 years, he's been there. Last 1.5, 2 years, he's been there. That's it.
Yeah,
Before that, Ben Duckett wasn't there. You didn't have.
Rahul, it's just
You
it's,
didn't have
see at the end of the day,
Root
it's
in
the
the form of
same
his
test
life.
team, same test coach. Everyone against who played against all last Ashes versus now is the same thing. Like there is no major difference where you're sitting and saying, yeah, these guys have revamped. They're like crazy at home now. Like, dude, they're playing teams
Okay,
like
but
Sri Lanka, West Indies.
then what are you basing off of India's like good form on? Like, what are you saying? What is giving? Okay, fine.
I am trying to say,
England are not as good as they used to be. Fine.
No, no, no. One second. England are
What
beating
is
teams like
India's?
Pakistan and Sri Lanka, but they keep in mind they also beat New Zealand, who beat us, by the way.
England didn't beat Pakistan, my friend.
Yeah, yeah. England. You said England are playing teams like Sri Lanka, teams like Pakistan, but they also
West
beat
Indies.
teams like New Zealand in a series in New Zealand. While India, okay, we to be fair again, although we did beat Bangladesh, we struggled again. There were points where we struggled against them, and then we got whitewashed against New Zealand. We got hammered in Australia, where it was not Australia being great; it was us shooting our own feet. So, on what basis are you saying England are playing bogey teams, but we're not?
Bro, but did you hear what I said in the beginning? I said if Indian batsmen are able to fix their flaws and play with their head, I
Bro, I
believe
think
they have a better team.
that is a given. Like, if you
Same.
fix
Okay. So
any,
That
so
is my
that's
whole
what they do well.
aspect.
asking, like, if see if Indian batsmen did that, if the Indian batsmen fixed their flaws and did well, we'd do well in Australia, because this Australia pitch had nothing. Like, these pitches were not something which was unplayable. Like, if we had fixed our flaws, we would have been we would have been fine. We wouldn't have gotten whitewashed in the New Zealand tour either. It is easy to say that, okay, if we fix our flaws, the same
Yeah,
way,
but
What else do you want me to say? My whole
no,
point is
that's
my
exactly.
entire.
You're saying if we
if
fix
a
our
couple of
flaws,
England batsmen do well, it is easy for them also to see through the series. That's the thing. It is easier to say
yeah.
an if condition rather than seeing how probable it
What is
is.
actually happening? What is actually
Bro,
happening is
so
Yeah.
are you as a okay? Let's say as a supporter, like, are you going to sit and say, yeah, you don't flex your flaws, just go play like this? Like, my whole point is, I'm putting in context of if Indian
No,
batsmen are able to
I'm
fill.
just saying it is ominous. It is difficult for it is looking difficult for us. I don't think there's any problem in
What
admitting
I'm
that.
trying to say is that's the same thing. What I'm trying to say, I still think England batsmen have not done well enough against the big teams to just sit and say they're firm favorites. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm also putting context to England. I'm saying India have very good bowling lineup. You guys come and tell me Bumrah is the best in the world. He should him with guys like Shami and Siraj who does well in
the
England.
bowling will be absolutely sizzling. Like, I don't think if at all India have a chance of
I
winning
don't know. Okay, like I
in
won't
England,
sit and say
it
India
will come
bowling is
down
going to
to
be
yeah, bro,
fantastic.
100%. Like
maybe, maybe not. I don't know about that. But for me, what I can see better for me is a batting perspective. And I really like this name wise, skill set wise, experience wise. These guys have played enough cricket, bro. Like guys like Punt, even Gill has played enough cricket since 2020. He's been playing international cricket. He played the World Cup also. Like you look at Jaiswal, he's been playing good level amount of cricket since 2021. Like my point is, these guys have experience. If they fix their flaws, if they're able to bat in the right ways, you have to supposed to go there and tackle the conditions there. Because again, like look at the Australian team, they've gone there and been able to score runs in England when they had to. And my point is, I still feel like India, skill set wise, they're at par with Australia, if not better. I still think name wise, batsman wise, you look at today also, the Indian batting lineup versus Australian batting lineup, we had better batters, bro. Like
I
they're
am not,
struggling.
bro. I don't think that's exact again, Adi. Like nobody's questioning the talent. Like I agree. Like talent wise, 100% India probably have a better. Again, like I don't know when it comes to Test cricket whether they have the right techniques or maybe like overall talent wise, yeah, probably you'd say India have like probably one of the most talented batting lineups. Whether or not their the applications are big different is a very important thing about Test cricket, right? It's probably the most important out of all formats. Where if you haven't played that format for a while or if you're not consistently playing red ball cricket, it really hits you at some point. And going to places like England, going to places like Australia, you have to keep discipline regardless of who you are. Even if you're even if you're the worst batter there, you have to play disciplined like fashion of cricket. Like otherwise, they will find you out. And that's all I'm saying. And I think fair enough. Like okay, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Like we'll see whether the Indian batters can really make a mark. And I'm hoping to see whether India go and plays like a warm up game before this and to see how India do in that warm up game. Or if they ever choose to decide to go and play a warm up game before the series. Um, and I would really love, bro, honestly, nothing more. I mean, this is a conversation for another day. I would really love it for somebody like a Virat Kohli to come out and say, or anyone, bro, any of those top guys to say, sorry, I am not playing. If my IPL team makes it to the final, I am not playing that IPL final or the last few games. Like I need to make sure that I'm ready for this England tour. Like that's the only way we're going to say Test cricket is
Are
important
you
and is
saying?
relevant.
Are you
No, I don't.
saying if
Okay, I don't want to get into this conversation, but this is just
Are you
something.
wait? One question. Are you saying if
Yeah.
Virat Kohli is playing the IPL finals for
No,
RCB,
see,
you're saying,
I'm just
yeah,
saying.
yeah,
I think
just shut up.
I think at the end of the day, see, I
No, no,
know.
you
Bro,
say
Bro,
no,
come
you say,
April,
bro.
Okay. If bro,
like
listen.
once playoffs are
If
gonna start, Rahul's gonna be like, bro,
Bro,
Virat,
no,
just
no, no. Listen,
bubble
bro,
wrap him and keep him for the
if
finals.
Virat Kohli comes and says this before the IPL begins, I swear I'm not going to be pissed at it. I've never been pissed at any player who has
No,
said
no,
I have national team commitments that I have to prepare for a test tour, and they've gone away. Like I'm fine with that. Like at the end of the day, this is franchise cricket. This is you're playing this. It is pure entertainment. But when
no.
you're
That's
playing
what I'm saying. You as
which
an
is
RCB
national
fan, would
cricket,
you be okay? Is my question.
I would be okay. I would understand if Virat
Yeah,
came
but
out before
dude,
the
we
tour and he
all of us
said
were
before
India
the
fans before we are RCB fans.
No,
no,
Am I
I
right?
honestly,
no,
bro,
Am I?
no.
bro, for me,
Talk to
like the
yourself. Speak for yourself, Rishi.
first ever memory I have of cricket is Test cricket, bro. And like
Yeah.
struggling for India, struggling to win in India winning in England and India struggling in Australia. Like these are my first memories, and I know how hard it is. I think over the years to go and win in England, to go and win in Australia, and these are those tours that you wait for. Like it comes once in 4 years. It's not like the IPL; it comes every year. These are the tours you wait for, and you say, I'm waiting for India to go to England. I'm waiting for India to go to Australia, and especially because India have not traditionally done well in England. It's one of those tours that I'm very like I always look forward to. When we finish the England tour, next time I'm like, bro, I want to go to England. Let's go to England. Let's do well in England against England. Like, and I think I really hope like England, India do well. And we've spoken for well over an hour. Let's end it here. But yeah, just I think to sum it up, it's going to be a very exciting England tour, and there's a lot of build up to it, and we're all hoping India do well. I don't think wants India not to do well, but there are worries and there are concerns, and I hope that we respond to those concerns, and I hope like Test cricket is given the preference that it deserves from the BCCI. Organize your warm games, get ready for prepare for these tours, and have the batters ready for them. Like that's all. I think we should probably end it on that. Thanks everyone for joining and watching. Please like and share the video. Subscribe to Sports Kabri. And yeah, do join us next time. See you.